Hello everyone, so I've got some things to share that I gathered and purchased from my local Dollar Tree, and I went looking for things to use with my gel plates. So first of all, let's get the big things out here. This is just one of their little like food storage container thingies, and I got this particular one because it's kind of shallow and I want to use it as a smaller wash basin for when I'm just doing smaller things. So that's kind of unique to me. Now let's look at this. There's also these foam trays. They're called foam trays, yeah. And these are 6.1 inches by 8.5 inches. You get 30 of them in the pack. And this is what I wanted to use them for. So to make my own texture plates, or yeah, basically. So you can kind of see, let's see, the pencil marks that I made there, and I might just trim off these edges so that I can use it more easily. But this side you could just press down like that. And that, I've got lots that I can do with that. Now this is very fragile styrofoam, so you can kind of see how even the pencil is gouging it. So definitely a lighter hand is useful, but I'm interested to see what kind of marks those can make on the gel plate. And then I got some of this protective wrap film protector. Now, take that guy off there. This is just like saran wrap, and people use it to wrap like for shipping, but you can get some interesting patterns if you scrunch it up, you know, and use it for texture. The other thing is it's useful for other crafting techniques in my craft room, and it's a lot smaller than the big roll of saran wrap. So I'm going to set that aside. And I did pick up this little puzzle. Now I didn't open it in the store, so might as well just open it right here and see how big of pieces we're dealing with. But what I was thinking, oh, they're not too bad, not too bad. So let me just open them up. And I didn't know it has this shininess. Hopefully that won't be a problem, like the holographic. But, you know, these will make a great stamp or texture plate. All I have to do is glue them down to something, or I can just set them down on the plate, and then they'll also pick up the paint from the gel plate and be really interesting for a mixed media project that I can do later on. So yeah, I just picked one that I wasn't crazy about because I'm not going to use it as a puzzle, but I'm going to use it for texture, make a little impression stamp out of it, and then also in other projects I can even put it on the card. So they have these in the Crafter Square, these stencil wheels, which I thought were great. I'd seen before, and I really had to dig to find what they had. Now this one, can you kind of, yeah, this one's feathers. And what I think I'm going to do is keep this part so that I can use it in card making with the selective, but I'm going to stick a brad through there instead of this hole so that I can also take it off and use it over my whole gel plate as a whole stencil as well. And then this one is hearts. Can you see that? Different hearts. So then I also found some fabric roses, and I thought these, I don't know how this is going to work. We'll have to see, but I wanted to try, they're hooked together, using it like a stamp to get the rose look on my gel plate. Then they have some foam stickers, which I have used before and stuck them down onto like a piece of cardboard and use them as a stamp or a texture plate. This one is music notes and a couple in like a tuba or something instrument. Oh, there's some guitars in there too. It's really hard to tell with the packaging. And then this one is like birthday cakes and cupcakes and party hats, so, and lollipops it looks like. So I'm interested to see what kind of texture I can get out of those. And then I picked up this, I didn't even realize this is adhesive, but this diamond wrap, I thought, you know, that would be good to get that texture, see what I can get with that impression. The cork piece, adhesive cork, I was maybe going to use with the cardboard to see if I can get more stability. I'm not sure about that. The mini clothespins, I would like to glue onto a piece of wood or cardboard and see if I can get that impression. This may be an utter fail, I don't know. I'll have to update with my results later. And then I saw these. These are interesting. They're supposed to go on your walls, but I was thinking I want to see what impression I can get with those, stamping them on. So, and then finally, this is just the, like, oops, my receipts are in there, the dish pan, which is a better size. I was using like a larger tub, but this is a better size for a larger wash basin for my gel printing needs. So we had the foam stickers that I put on the back of some cardboard, and this, let's see, yes, this one's kind of the birthday themed one. This is just the stamped off impression. This is the stamped off impression of this side. And this is the gel print with just the paint, and then taking what was left after I stamped off of it. Pretty simple there. I think that was very successful. I'm going to call it nailed it. And then we have, let's see, you'll remember the kind of saran wrap tool here. The results for that. This is the stamping off. So grabbing it, just tapping the gel plate, and then this is what you get with an impression from that tool. And then this was, the first layer was the blue, and that's what I stamped off, and then I laid on another layer after that dried to pull this print, and that would be the purple. So that's that one. So that goes aside. Then, oh, we're kind of going back and forth here. We have a couple more of the, well, the foam stickers that I made into a stamp. This one I had this extra piece of just wood, so I stuck some of the music note ones on there, and this here is what you get from stamping off. And this is the print from the gel plate. So that one works great as a stamp tool as well. And then, similar to the foam stickers, we had those puzzle pieces. These I just glued to the back of, this is like a piece of chipboard I had a scrap of, and this did not give a good stamp off impression because this is like cardboard, and so it soaked up too much of the paint. But it did do some interesting marks on the gel plate. This, I believe, is my first attempt, I'm not sure. But then there's this one, and so I had one layer of paint and then stamped it off on something, which it didn't really give an image for that, and then the purple to pull the print. This one's a cool one. This was like the adhesive back rhinestone. I just cut a piece off, and so I still have some that I can use. You can see a little bit of the paint on there. It did some cool stuff. This is, let's see if that will focus. This is what I got from just putting it on the plate. I had a layer of orange and then stamping it off. And then this was the print afterwards, the pull. I just pulled that side, I guess. And then this was another print that I had done with yellow, and I think I stamped off the yellow here and then did some other stuff on top of it. I'm not sure, I don't remember exactly, but so that was definitely a good one. Worked well. Now the nailed it, failed it one was, do you remember the burlap rose that I was hoping would do a lovely rose impression? For the rose impression, I'm gonna say failed it. This is the stamped off part. It's pretty cool, don't get me wrong, but it's not really the rose look I was going for. But I'm gonna say it nailed it for a texture tool for using on the gel press. These are two of the prints I pulled from, and it's a really cool texture. It's somewhat rosy, but it's not really the rose look I was thinking of. That's why it's nailed it, failed it. Now another cool one that I really didn't even expect to work was, you remember the wood pack of, what are these called? Clothespins? This is all I had left from the one pack, the $1 pack. The rest of them, I used hot glue gun. This is again a scrap of chipboard. And believe me, if you're doing it, start by putting a drop of glue on the card and then the clothespin, because I burned myself a few times with the first few, but you're not going to see the glue anyway. And so it was a lot easier to put the glue onto the card and then the piece down. Anyway, this does not make a good stamping impression because there are high points. So you just get these weird dots. Did I do it on this side? Yeah. This is the stamped off. Meh. But look at the cool impression. Because the gel plate you can kind of press into, and be careful because there are metal pieces. You don't want to damage your gel plate. But it goes in and then you can still get more of this impression. And I thought that was really neat. So definitely I nailed it on that one. The complete failed it surprise for me. At least I'm not going to recommend this tool, was the foam plates. I already put them in the garage. I'm going to use them, I think, for paint palettes and not for carving tools. This, you know, just didn't work the way I liked it to. So this is the impression, and you know, this is the stamping off, which is kind of cool, but meh, you know. On this side, the thing I really didn't like was, let me see if I can grab something to show you. Yes, it was really hard to carve. It kind of pulls up, like, you know, just a little bit. See that? And then it's just not strong. I think a better thing to do for the foam plate would be to rescue some from the garbage can the next time you have a nice piece of meat or something that's packed in styrofoam. That's my recommendation. So that one I'm going to say failed it. Now, another cool thing were these repositionable wall hangers. This is another kind of nailed it, failed it item. This is the cardboard that it came in the packing, and it's adhesive back, so I just stuck them on there. However, the failed it part was they're supposed to be repositionable, right? Well, I wanted to adjust it. I had put this one down and I was pulling it up at the tip and it snapped right here and here. You can't see it really because there's a layer of paint. So just buyer beware. It's cheap, it's fragile. I don't know if you can pull it off your walls. Maybe it won't damage your walls, but you might damage the piece. So, but it gave some cool impressions. Now I didn't get a full impression here. So it wasn't perfect, but I mean, that's kind of the idea of the gel plate, right? Is the not perfect. And I actually liked the results. So nailed it / failed it on that one. And how about the stencils? Of course the stencils were great. I mean, I liked the stencils. So I got a whole bin of things here. Actually, before we do the stencils, I'm gonna go ahead and show the other wall hanger one, because I went ahead afterwards. I wanted to try the arrows first because I really like the butterflies. This is almost the whole pack. One is actually where you can't see it. It's actually on my wall in front of me, doing what it was designed to do, be a wall sticker. But this this is the packaging, and then I used that cork as a little extra support here. And I'm not sure if that worked better or not. I think I did get better impressions, like as far as stamping off goes. Let's see, where's the stamping off one? Or maybe not. Maybe not stamping off, but I think it did better impressions on the gel plate because you can see the whole butterfly there. I love that. That's cool. This one's it's like the ghost print. I don't know if that's showing up on camera, but it's a very subtle look. And then there's another one there. So those I really liked as tools on the gel plate. And finally, we have the stencils. So let's see here. These are the hearts. So this is the first one where I put it down. I put the stencil down and I took these off their backers. I don't know where I put their backers, but I kept the backer part that you can selectively stencil, and I just put a brad through it, and I have no idea what I did with them, but they're around here somewhere. Oh well. Anyway, that's what you get through the stencil, and then this was the print that I pulled, and then this was a second print, adding more paint. So I thought that was pretty cool. I liked that look. Again, this is like a ghost print of that heart one. Oh, and there's what I pulled from the stencil. Oh, here they are. Oh my goodness. Right here. So this is, I just put a brad through so that I can stick it back in there if I want to do the selective stenciling, that it has that cool design which I haven't actually seen before. So say you want to just do the highlight this feather here, you know, but for the gel plate, obviously, it's easier to not have this. So I just put a paper fastener there to pull that out. And the feathers, this was the first impression through the stencil, then the gel plate image, and the ghost print. So I hope that gives you some ideas to try. That was a fun haul from the Dollar Tree, and I was pleasantly surprised. But definitely, I will not recommend buying those foam plates, and they're not really good for the environment anyway. I won't waste them. I'm going to use them as paint palettes when my kids are painting and stuff. But yeah, that one's the only one that really didn't make it. So thanks again for watching. Have a great day, and bye!